All right, Shalom. I'd like to start off by saying, Ka Halayim La Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Harakak Wadash Ma'amath. Double honors to the elder apostles, the great millstone, and my elder Herawan as well. Salutations to the Archimedes pushing the truth to sincerity and truth, and peace and blessings to the men, women, and children that believe in the name of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. All right, I'm Chanak Sa'am Ban Yasser from the last Lions in the Yasser camp. And this is another Lions Den News and Prophecy. And this says, U.S. national debt surges $98 billion in January as lawmakers warn America is rapidly approaching the crisis point. All right, so America's approaching the crisis point. Let me get a scripture that comes to mind real quick. Hopefully, I can find it. But America been in the crisis point. But, you know, it's been circling the drain, just like how Charles Schwab was speaking on in that interview, said around when he was given a synopsis on what the New World Order is going, how they plan to approach it, all right, and the things that they plan to do to have it in place. And in that conversation, he said America shall be slowly circling the drain. So it's been at a crisis point, you know, but you have some individuals that are in denial. I'm looking for the scripture. I know it's in Job, and I know it's on the left side of the page. That's funny. That's how we know to do that a lot. We know what side of the page the scripture is on, but sometimes it's hard to remember. Okay. All right, so he shall be in straits. Oh man, this is one right here I could use. This is this is Job chapter 18 and 11. It says, terror shall make him afraid on every side, and shall drive him to his feet. And that's going to be done by these other nations rising up against America, right? So think about it. These other nations rising up against America, America ain't really got no money to be fighting back. You know? No, it's on the right side of the page. But the one I was looking for in Job, it says, he shall be in straits. Okay, all right, I was all the way wrong. It's on the whole right side of the other page. This is Job chapter 20, verse 22. It says, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits, and every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. Right, so America's at a point, like, I remember this was an album that Tupac was he was doing an interlude or intro on to a song, and he was like, they told me to get my money up so I can go to war. Well, I got my money up, it's time for war. America's money is failing them. The strength of this country is failing them. The debt surges $98 billion in January alone. Why? Man, listen, funding all this money to help Ukraine, to help Taiwan, to help South Korea, to help Israel. You know? And Israel's the one that ultimately, I was talking to the elder today. We were going over that scripture. Surely the least of them shall draw them out. Right, Israel, and he was explaining how that's prophecy, man. Israel drew America out into a war ultimately, and that's the least of Esau. You know, the least. You had Ukraine, Esau. These small little countries, right, are drawing America into a hot war, and especially the one that, dealing with Israel and Hamas. See, the one dealing with Ukraine and Russia doesn't really reflect the United States. But Israel and Hamas directly reflects the United States, man. Because the United States is a direct ally. They all Edomites, but the United States is the direct ally to Israel, man. So they have no choice but to get involved. But here's the thing about it, though. With America getting involved in it, so to speak, America's a NATO country. So where is the rest of NATO? See how this is about to play out? Everybody's turning against America right now, though. America don't even have the money. Because these countries turning against America, the thing that's the backbone and the stability of America is crushed because the dollar. All right, so reading it again, it says United States national debt surges $98 billion in January as lawmakers warn America is rapidly approaching the crisis point. And that crisis point is already there, you know. So let's talk about this national debt in America, right? I'm trying to get to some scriptures real quick as I'm speaking. National debt in America. Well, let's read this article a little bit. It says, a group of U.S. lawmakers from both sides of the aisles, I guess that's talking on Democratic and Republic, say the nation's financial woes are putting the American dream out of reach for younger generations. Right. The younger generation ain't gonna make it because it's about to be blowed up. You know, it's about to be blowed up. It says, like, so the Republicans, there's one thing they ain't arguing about is how America's in debt, how America's economy is failing. That's one thing they can come into agreement on. Right? It says Senator Mitt Romney and Joe Manchin and Representative Bill, I don't know how to, Huizenga and Scott Peters penned an op-ed on the Hill Saturday are saying the United States national debt is exploding at an unsustainable rate. Everything's gonna come crashing down on this place, man. Because they ain't gonna be able to pay the feds back that debt that they're in. There's no way they can't, man, the world can't pay this debt back. I'm wondering what they're gonna do with the interest rates. All right, so the op-ed comes as new government data shows the national debt has surged from 33.990 trillion at the start of January to 34.072 trillion, an $82 billion increase, man. How much money is it done? $82 billion? Like, that's a, man. So that's, bruh, these are America's trillions. There has been trillions of dollars in debt ever since the form of America. It says the national debt is the greatest threat of our country our country faces, and we are rapidly approaching the crisis point. We were elected to lead, and that involves making sacrifices and tough decisions. And what is the tough decisions that they're going to make now? They ain't got no choice but to go to war or do a reset. How do a reset? You file for bankruptcy, right? And you put a little commodities on. I forgot what they put it on. They put it in this thing that you put to the side. You keep certain things, and then you start over fresh. And that's what they're going to try to do with the new form of currency. They're going to crash the American dollar and go digital. You see that? Like when a company is about to go out of business, they spend, right? But what they call it is lean spending. Like lean spending to gain back capital, right? So you know you're gonna have to spend money to have a return of an investment on the money, right? But you got to spend it in ways that you can make a sure comeback from it, and to try to get as much as you can before you shut it down or sell it off. America can't sell any more dollars. Nobody's going to keep buying these dollars. These other nations are starting to use their own forms of currency, right? Cutting America out of these trade deals. So the backbone, the greenback, which is the backbone of American economy, is failing them because it's not worth anything anymore. These countries don't want to deal with it. It says, the officials called for a government body to address and monitor the fiscal situation of the United States. An idea they say is the most practical and immediate chance the country has to address the crisis and protect seniors. It says those who claim a fiscal commission is supply a Trojan horse for cuts to Social Security and Medicare are engaging in fear-mongering. So the company that I work for, right, we were going through this, right? And the first thing we had to do was layoffs, right? That's the first thing. Do 20% layoffs and 20% cuts on like things like certain programs we use. Do we have to use this to like make an operations cutback with manpower and like in software and things like that, right? So now America's going to end. That's standard operations for when the company is in a financial crisis, right? You see how much you can cut back on spending, you know, and still maintain your income. As money comes in, spend less if you can, right? So that's what America's going to do. Cutting Social Security, cutting Medicare, and ultimately that's going to lead to cutting food stamps, cutting Section 8. Right, and when all that starts to fail, if the American economy fails, I think that's what the S&P 500 is kind of backed on. A part of it is dealing with the American dollar, so that's gonna cut a lot of retirement pensions. So now with all these major cutbacks, but I bet you ain't none of these lawmakers cutting their pay. They ain't gonna cut that. They're gonna cut everything else, but they ain't gonna cut what they making. It says, those who propose doing nothing are effectively paving the road to bankruptcy of Social Security and Medicare. Congress needs to find solutions that preserve these essential programs for Americans who today are in their 20s, 30s, and 40s. Because by that time, if they were to last that long, there would be no Social Security by the time, you know, this generation gets in those age. You know? So now, America's been in a financial crisis. And where is that? But you got a lot of people that are in denial. That they, just like how it was in Rome. I remember I was watching a TV show and a commercial came on, and the commercial was a clip for, I think, Comedy Central, where they was doing a preview of a comedy show with stand-up comedians, right? And it was an Edomite later on there. She was like, "Hey man, like, you know, nice to meet everybody, da da da. But let's get straight to the point, cut through the chase. Aren't we feeling like a little bit of fall of Rome vibes here in America right now? Do you guys kind of feel like everybody was laughing and cheering on, like they could agree with it? But it's the same thing, because this is the revised version of Rome, and we're witnessing the fall of it, man. And that debt, they're gonna fall right into that debt that they are in. All right, this is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 5. It says, no, 6. It says, shall not all these take up a proverb against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth, that is which is not his? And how did they do that? With the dollar. They took stuff that they really stole all the resources off the earth and used the dollar to do it. Like, took the valuable resources and handed people monopoly money and forced them to utilize it or honor it as a form of currency. So they literally strong-armed, instead of using the gun or just using the bear, they used the dollar. Something that's worth nothing, deceive the whole world that something that's worth nothing is worth more than these natural resources that they took. And got us, right? Increases what is, matter of fact, let me start at verse 2. Habakkuk 2 and 2, it says, verse 2 and 3, it says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. Right, that vision is being known. Who is the mystery of iniquity? Who is the master of sin? Who is the power of the prince of the power of the air? Who is the prince of this world? Esau. And all these things are being exposed. And what did Esau use, right, to be as the hammer of the earth? America. So you got Europe, right, swinging that hammer, right, and ruling the nations, right? Verse 4, it says, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Right. So we don't have faith in the dollar. We have faith in Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, because we understand the soul of Esau is not upright, meaning he has to crawl around on his belly like a serpent. He can't stand upright in spirit and be righteous. No, he has to be deceptive and cause confusion. That curse of the serpent, man. So we don't fall for the wiles of the devil, right? Because we have faith in Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, and that's what we're going to live by. Verse 5, it says, yea, also because he transgressed by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desires as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathered unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people, man. Right. This devil has all about been some form of slavery, from having us in captivity in chains, right, with whips and chains, and having us in captivity with the Social Security number. The whole straw man effect, going into what the Revelation 13 and 16, who Nate from IUIC fumbled over, talking about the passion of Esau. Is how they get the image to speak. Man, listen. It's like how the elders of Quan, I heard one said in the video, man. It's this system, right, which is set up by the dollar, is what the image is. And this form, and it's been promoting a form of slavery, right? Like in the article that it says that the American dream, where does it say that? It said it says a group of lawmakers from both sides of the aisle said the nation's financial woes are putting the American dream out of reach. Realizing that now people are waking up to America. There was no American dream, man. It was all a facade. It was all a facade. That was all just like, that's why John the Revelator was marveling at her, because he was caught up in the facade of America. He marveled at her greatly because how she was draped in all fine jewelry and gold. And how did she get draped like that? How did she get adorned like that? With the dollar. All right, verse 6. Habakkuk 2 and 6 says, shall not I take up a parable against him and say, woe unto him that creases which is not his? How long? And to him that laden himself with thick clay. Now, clay right there is debt. Esau is not only in debt in Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, but you got America in debt to all these other nations. Because now that the dollar is depreciating all the time, and the money that these other nations and resources that these other nations invested into the dollar, they're going to want some get back. They're going to want some get back, man. And they're going to get it. They're going to get it. America's going to be stripped bare, stripped of everything, man. Let me close it out with this. This is Isaiah 47 and 1. It says, come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground, there is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans. For thou shalt be no more called tender and delicate. Right. So no more, she's not going to be no more sitting high like a princess, like a lady, all voluptuous to look at. Nah. She's going to be looking at like filth, like a third world country, man. And it's all being done by Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, bringing this place low. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying and serve the purpose that of like Sekah Halayim La Yahweh Bashim Yahushua Bashim Harikah Kwadash Ma'amath. Double honors to the elder apostles, the great millstone, and my elder Herawan as well. Salutations to the Akmi that are pushing the truth with sincerity and truth. And peace and blessing to the men, women, and children that believe in the name of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Shalom.